Imagine you're a young woman from a remote Anatolian village, the year is 1520, the air carries the sharp scent of pine and damp earth as Ottoman scout sees you at dawn, your family's pleas piercing the silence as they drag you away, your wrists bound with coarse rope that bites into your skin. You're being taken to the Sultan's harem in Topkapi Palace, a place of breathtaking beauty and unrelenting terror, where concubines lived a nightmare that shaped the Ottoman Empire's darkest secrets, its walls hiding a legacy of suffering. Historians like Leslie Pierce note the harems rise under Suleiman the Magnificent, where over 300 women were confined by 1520, their lives a torturous blend of luxury and captivity, their freedom traded for the Sultan's desires, their voices silenced by the weight of tradition. This isn't a tale of opulent romance spun in silken threads, it's a descent into a life so feared it whispered through the empire's corridors, a system that turned innocence into a commodity bartered for power, its echoes reverberating across centuries. The journey begins with capture. Scouts, clad in dark robes and armed with authority, roam the empire's fringes, selecting girls aged 12 to 18 for their beauty, their villages left in mourning as homes emptied of laughter. Ottoman records from 1520 list entries like, taken from Bursa, fair-skinned, compliant, their humanity reduced to traits scribbled on parchment by indifferent scribes, their identities erased with each stroke of the quill. Imagine the dread, the creak of a wooden cart's wheels grinding over rocky paths, the sting of rope against your wrists as you stumble, the weight of a guard's shadowed figure looming ahead, his voice a low growl, the horizon swallowed by the palace's towering silhouette against a gray sky. Upon arrival, you're stripped of your name, given a title like Kuriai or slave girl, and thrust into a world of silk draperies and constant surveillance, your past a fading memory in the harem's dim light. The Valide Sultan, the Sultan's mother, ruled with an iron hand, her gaze piercing through the haze of incense as she assigns your fate, servitude in the kitchens or the Sultan's bedchamber, a decision that hangs like a guillotine over your head. Was this honor bestowed upon you or a prison sentence carved in gold and marble? The question lingers as you step into the harem's oppressive glow, the air heavy with unspoken rules. The harem was a labyrinth of power and despair, over 400 women by 1550, their quarters a maze of intrigue where alliances formed over a single glance from the Sultan, where a smile could mean favor or doom. Excavations near the palace reveal barred windows, their iron rusted with time, their panes scratched by desperate fingers, a silent testament to the confinement that trapped these women like birds in a cage. Chroniclers like Evliya Shalebi described the harem's beauty, tiled walls shimmering with blue and gold, the air perfumed with rosewater and sandalwood, yet note the eunuch's constant watch, their towering figures a reminder of control, their silence more threatening than their swords. The air thickens, the scent of rosewater masking the fear that clings to your skin, the shuffle of satin slippers on cold marble floors, the dread of a summons that could change your life forever. If this chills you to the bone, hit that like button and comment. What drove this system of captivity that turned lives into pawns? Many resisted, their defiance met with the crack of a flogging whip, their spirits broken by the lashes echo bouncing off the stone walls, a resistance swallowed by the palace's grandeur, their tears absorbed by the opulent rugs. But the harem's nightmare was only the beginning of this dark odyssey. What horrors awaited when the Sultan's whims turned to darker rituals, practices that pushed the boundaries of human decency within these gilded walls? The answer lies beyond the ornate doors, a secret yet to unfold in the shadows of power. Are you ready for more? Smash that like button if you are, and subscribe now to uncover the next layer of this haunting history. Where will this path of torment lead us next? Imagine you're that same young woman. Now inside the harem of Topkapi Palace, the year still 1520, the air grows heavy with the scent of sandalwood and sweat as you're led to a cavernous training chamber, the clank of metal echoing off the high, tiled walls, a sound that chills your spine. You see older concubines, their eyes hollow and sunken, instructing you in the intricate steps of dances and the nuances of courtly manners, while a towering eunuch looms nearby, his whip coiled in hand, his silence more menacing than any shouted command. This is where the nightmare deepens, where concubines faced relentless training and unyielding surveillance, their lives shaped by the Sultan's insatiable demands and the eunuch's iron rule, a system so feared it broke spirits within these gilded walls, its terror a constant undercurrent. Historians like Alan Fisher detail the 16th-century harem, where training was a brutal tool of control, with over 200 girls annually molded into perfect servants, their humanity stripped away layer by layer under the weight of tradition, their existence a testament to the empire's dark heart. This isn't just a story of disciplined instruction etched in stone, it's a plunge into a torment that echoed through the palace's marble halls, a suffering that lingered in every shadow. The training was grueling beyond measure. Girls were taught to dance with fluid grace, sing with dulcet tones, and serve with unwavering obedience, their days filled with the relentless rhythm of instruction and the ever-present threat of punishment that hung like a storm cloud. Ottoman records from 1525 note schedules beginning at dawn, with lessons in etiquette, foreign languages, and the subtle art of seduction, their progress tracked by overseers who noted every misstep in cold, unfeeling ink, their reports a map of broken wills. Imagine the strain, the jingle of tiny bells sewn into your ankle bands as you move through the steps, the brush of silk against your chafed skin as you adjust your posture, the weight of a tutor's critical eye boring into you as you falter, your muscles screaming from endless repetition, your breath ragged with exhaustion. Mistakes brought the lash, its sharp crack a piercing reminder of obedience that reverberated through the chamber, while success offered only a fleeting reprieve, a temporary shield against the next trial. Was this education meant to elevate or a breaking of the will, a molding of flesh into a tool for the Sultan's pleasure, a transformation that erased the girl you once were? The question lingers as you memorize another intricate step, your reflection in a polished brass tray a stranger's face. Many collapsed under the pressure, their tears staining the polished marble floors, their bodies trembling as they fought to rise, their resistance a flickering flame quickly extinguished by the overseer's stern hand, a defiance swallowed by the palace's oppressive grandeur. The surveillance was suffocating, a web that tightened with every breath. Eunuchs, castrated guards from Africa or the Caucasus, patrolled the harem with an unyielding presence, their towering figures a constant shadow that loomed over every movement. Chronicles from the 1530s estimate over 100 eunuchs by Suleiman's reign, their loyalty bought with the loss of their manhood, their eyes ever watchful, their silence a weapon more potent than their swords. Excavations reveal their guard posts, small rooms tucked into the harem's corners, their walls etched with tally marks counting the hours of their vigilance, their peepholes offering a glimpse into the lives they controlled, a silent record of their dominion. The air thickens, the scent of oil burning in their lamps, the shuffle of their heavy robes against the stone floors, the dread of their approach as they glide silently through the corridors, their footsteps a harbinger of judgment. If this unnerves you to your core, hit that like button and comment. What purpose did this vigilance serve, this constant gaze that turned the harem into a prison? Concubines caught whispering of escape or rebellion faced solitary confinement in damp cells, their isolation a punishment that gnawed at their minds, their stories of defiance buried beneath the harem's suffocating silence. Their hope eroded by the endless watch. But the training and watch were only the surface of this darkness, a mere prelude to the horrors that awaited. What terrors emerged when the Sultan's favor turned to those who excelled, a reward that masked a deeper, more sinister fate within these gilded walls? The answer lies in the Sultan's opulent chambers, a secret yet to be unveiled from the heart of this nightmare. Are you ready for more? Smash that like button if you are, and subscribe now to uncover the next layer of this chilling history. Where will this path of torment lead us next? Imagine you're that same young woman, now deeper within the harem of Topkapi Palace. The year is 1525, the air grows thick with the scent of jasmine and jealousy as you stand among a circle of other concubines, their eyes glinting with rivalry beneath lowered lashes, a whispered threat hanging in the air like a storm about to break. You've caught the Sultan's fleeting glance during a courtly dance, a moment that promises elevation to the rank of Hasiki, but ushers in a new nightmare, fierce competition and betrayal among the women, fueled by the Sultan's favor system, a practice so feared it turned allies into enemies within these gilded walls, its tension a palpable force. Historians like Gulrin Esipagla describe the 16th century harem as a battleground of intrigue, where over 400 women vied for Suleiman the Magnificent's attention, their lives a web of psychological torment, their ambitions sharpened by desperation, their existence a testament to the empire's ruthless power dynamics. This isn't just a tale of courtly games played on ivory boards, it's a plunge into a horror that eroded trust, a system that thrived on division, its echoes a haunting refrain through the palace's marble corridors. The favor system was a double-edged sword that cut deep. Concubines competed fiercely to bear the Sultan's children, a path to status as Hasiki or mother of a prince, their every move scrutinized by rivals and overseers alike, their futures dangling on the Sultan's capricious whims. Ottoman records from 1525 note Hurrem Sultan's meteoric rise, her rivalry with Mahidevran igniting tensions that led to over 50 documented disputes, their names etched in history as symbols of this endless struggle. Imagine the tension, the rustle of silk as you adjust your veil to catch his eye, the brush of a rival's sleeve as she passes with a venomous sneer, the weight of their piercing stares as you perform a flawless dance, your heart pounding with each measured note, your breath shallow with anxiety. Success meant luxury, jewels that glittered like false promises, a private chamber with a view of the Bosphorus, but failure brought isolation in cold, damp cells or worse, the threat of poison a constant whisper that slithered through the harem's halls. Was this ambition a noble pursuit or a trap that devoured the soul, a gilded cage that ensnared the unwary? The question lingers as you rehearse your next performance, your reflection in a polished brass tray a distorted image of the girl you once knew. Many turn to intrigue, forging fragile alliances only to shatter them with a well-placed rumor, their minds twisted by the harem's unrelenting pressure, their laughter a brittle mask for the despair that gnawed at their hearts. The rivalries were relentless, a battlefield of whispered plots and silent daggers. Women schemed against each other, using gifts to bribe eunuchs, spreading rumors to discredit foes, or resorting to sabotage to eliminate competition, their actions a dance as intricate as the one they performed for the Sultan. Excavations near the harem reveal hidden compartments behind tiled walls, their contents, dried herbs, broken glass vials, and faded notes, suggesting poison plots and secret correspondences, a silent testament to the treachery that flourished in the shadows. Chronicler Pacivi, writing in the 1540s, recounts a concubine's dramatic fall after a rival's false accusation of theft, her exile to a remote province a stark warning to others, her name erased from the rolls as if she never existed. The air thickens, the scent of incense masking the tension that crackles like static. The clink of jewelry as hands move to strike or offer a poisoned gift, the dread of a cup placed before you, its contents a mystery. If this disturbs you to your core, hit that like button and comment, what fueled this cycle of betrayal that turned the harem into a viper's nest? Some sought escape through feigned madness, their screams echoing through the night, their minds fracturing under the strain, their stories lost to the harem's oppressive silence, their sanity a casualty of the Sultan's ever-shifting favor. But the favor system's darkness didn't end with the rivalries that consumed the women. What horrors awaited when the Sultan's favor turned to punishment, a descent into cruelty that surpassed even the treachery within these walls? The answer lies in the shadowed corners of the harem's inner sanctum, a secret yet to be revealed from the depths of this nightmare. Are you ready for more? Smash that like button if you are, and subscribe now to uncover the next layer of this haunting history. Where will this path of torment lead us next? Imagine you're that same young woman, now a year into your captivity within the labyrinthine depths of Topkapi Palace. The year is 1526, the air grows heavy with the scent of damp stone and fear as you hear a piercing scream from the punishment chamber, the sound slicing through the harem's oppressive silence like a blade. You see a concubine dragged away by stern-faced guards, her face bruised and streaked with tears, her pleas ignored as she vanishes into the shadows, a moment that reveals the Sultan's capricious cruelty, a practice so horrifying it turned the harem into a realm of unrelenting terror, its echoes reverberating through the marble corridors. Historians like Caroline Finkel document the 16th-century harem under Suleiman the Magnificent, where his unpredictable whims led to brutal punishments, with over 30 recorded cases of concubines facing exile, flogging, or worse, their lives subject to his volatile rage, a testament to the empire's iron fist cloaked in silk. This isn't just a story of royal authority etched in gold, it's a plunge into a nightmare where mercy was a distant myth, a system that thrived on fear, its cruelty a shadow over the Sultan's throne. The punishments were savage and unrelenting: disobedience, a spilled goblet, or the loss of favor brought flogging with a leather whip, confinement in dank cells, or banishment to distant provinces like Algiers or Cairo, their fates sealed with a single decree. Ottoman records from 1526 detail a concubine whipped mercilessly for spilling wine during a feast, her back scarred as a warning to others, her cries a haunting refrain, while another was sent to a remote outpost, her name erased from the palace rolls as if she never existed, her family left to wonder her fate. Imagine the terror, the sharp crack of a whip against tender flesh, the cold bite of iron chains binding your wrists as you're led away, the weight of the Sultan's cold, unfeeling stare as he passes judgment from his cushioned throne, your knees trembling on the icy marble floor, your breath catching in your throat. Some faced the golden cage, a luxurious yet isolating prison where they lived in solitary splendor, their minds unraveling from the crushing loneliness, their wails a haunting echo that drifted through the harem's halls, their sanity slipping away with each passing hour. Was this justice served with a royal hand or a descent into sadism that stained the throne with blood and tears? The question lingers as you witness a friend's brutal fall, her body slumped against the wall, her spirit broken by the Sultan's whim. Many never recovered, their bodies marked by scars, their spirits crushed beneath the weight of his cruelty, their stories swallowed by the palace's suffocating silence, their absence a void in the harem's ranks. The cruelty was as unpredictable as a storm at sea. Suleiman's moods dictated fates with a fickleness that kept all in dread, with favorites discarded on a whim, their rise as swift as their fall. Excavations near the harem reveal hidden cells carved into the stone, their walls marked with deep scratches from desperate nails and faded bloodstains that tell tales of violence. A silent testament to the suffering endured within these walls, the air still heavy with their ghosts. Chronicler Mustafa Ali, writing in the 1550s, recounts a concubine's execution for a rumored affair with a guard, her body disposed of in secret under the cover of night, a stark reminder of the Sultan's absolute power, her death a whisper that silenced others. The air thickens, the metallic scent of blood mingling with the sweet incense that fills the halls, the shuffle of guards' heavy boots against the stone floors, the dread of a sudden summons to face his wrath, your heart pounding as you hear his footsteps approach. If this horrifies you to your core, hit that like button and comment. What drove this reign of terror that turned the harem into a house of horrors? Some sought mercy through feigned illness or quiet tears, their pleas falling on deaf ears, their lives a perilous gamble against the Sultan's shifting moods, their hope fading with each sunrise, their resilience tested by the endless uncertainty. But the Sultan's cruelty didn't stop at the lash or the cell. What horrors awaited when his desires turned to darker rituals, practices that pushed the boundaries of human endurance and plunged the harem into an abyss of despair? The answer lies in the Sultan's private sanctum, a secret yet to be unveiled from the heart of this nightmare. Are you ready for more? Smash that like button if you are, and subscribe now to uncover the next layer of this chilling history. Where will this path of torment lead us next? Imagine you're that same young woman, now 3 years into your captivity within the labyrinthine depths of Topkapi Palace. The year is 1529, the air grows thick with the scent of myrrh and dread as you're summoned to the Sultan's private sanctum, the flicker of torchlight casting eerie, dancing shadows across the cold stone walls. You enter a dimly lit chamber where concubines are arranged in a trembling circle, their faces pale and drawn, participating in a secretive ritual that hints at the Sultan's darkest, most twisted desires, a practice so horrifying it turned the harem into a stage for his unrestrained whims, its secrecy a shroud over their suffering. Historians like Halil Analsik suggest the 16th century harem concealed such ceremonies, where Suleiman the Magnificent's private indulgences involved over 20 women annually, their roles a chilling blend of duty and exploitation, their lives shrouded in a mystery that deepened the harem's darkness. This isn't just a tale of royal excess painted in gold, it's a plunge into a nightmare where secrecy bred terror, a system that pushed the boundaries of human endurance, its echoes a haunting whisper through the palace's hidden corridors. The rituals were shrouded in a silence as oppressive as the stone itself. Concubines were handpicked for these private ceremonies, their tasks veiled in euphemisms like entertainment or service to the crown, their true nature a secret guarded by eunuchs and sealed with fear. Ottoman accounts from 1530 note irregular gatherings held under the cover of night, with eunuchs escorting women through a hidden entrance concealed behind a heavy tapestry adorned with intricate floral patterns, the fabric brushing against their trembling forms as they passed. Imagine the unease, the rustle of silk robes as you're positioned in the circle, the brush of cold, damp stone against your bare feet as you stand, the weight of the Sultan's piercing gaze as he watches from a shadowed throne, your pulse racing with each muffled chant that rises from the group, the air thick with unspoken dread. These events involved hypnotic dances and symbolic offerings, perhaps a lock of hair or a drop of perfume, their purpose unclear but their toll evident in the trembling hands and hollow eyes of those who emerged, while others vanished into the sanctum's depths, never to be seen again. Was this devotion demanded by a divine right or a descent into depravity that scarred the soul, a ritual that turned human lives into mere props? The question lingers as you hear a sob break the silence, its source lost in the flickering shadows. Many bore the invisible marks of these nights, their minds fractured by the experience, their bodies weakened, their stories buried beneath the palace's suffocating silence, their absence a mystery that fueled whispered fears. The exploitation was relentless and all-consuming. Suleiman's insatiable desires drove these rituals, with his favored concubines subjected to repeated summons, their status a double-edged sword that elevated them only to expose them to greater torment. Excavations near the sanctum reveal a small, claustrophobic chamber, its walls etched with faint carvings of crescent moons and stained with drippings of wax from countless torches, a silent testament to the ceremony's intensity and the passage of time, the air still heavy with the ghosts of those who suffered within. Chronicler Seleniki, writing in the 1570s, hints at a concubine's mental breakdown after such an event, her screams a rare breach of the sanctum secrecy that echoed through the harem, her collapse a warning to others of the toll exacted by these nights, her story a fragment lost to history. The air thickens, the pungent scent of myrrh mixing with the sour tang of sweat, the unsteady flicker of torchlight reflecting off gold ornaments, the dread of the next summons that could pull you back into the ritual's grasp, your heart pounding as the eunuch's footsteps approach. If this unsettles you to your core, hit that like button and comment. What sinister purpose did these rituals serve, this hidden theater of the Sultan's will? Some resisted, their defiance met with prolonged confinement in the harem's deepest cells. Their spirits broken by the isolation, their voices silenced by the stone walls, their hope eroded by the endless repetition of their torment. But the Sultan's rituals didn't remain confined to the sanctum's shadows. What horrors emerged when these practices influenced the harem's hierarchy, turning favor into a curse that poisoned the women's lives beyond the ceremonies? The answer lies in the power struggles that rippled through the harem's ranks, a secret yet to unfold from the heart of this nightmare. Are you ready for more? Smash that like button if you are, and subscribe now to uncover the next layer of this chilling history. Where will this path of torment lead us next? Imagine you're that same young woman, now 5 years into your captivity within the labyrinthine depths of Topkapi Palace. The year is 1531. The air grows heavy with the scent of rose oil and treachery as you overhear a hushed plot in the harem's shadowed corner, the faint clink of a hidden dagger sending a shiver of ice down your spine. You realize the Sultan's hidden rituals have ignited a firestorm of power struggles, with concubines forming secret alliances to overthrow rivals, their whispers a deadly undercurrent, a practice so horrifying it turned the harem into a den of conspiracy where every smile masked a knife, its intrigue a game of life and death. Historians like Leslie Pierce note the 1530s harem under Suleiman the Magnificent, where harem sultans' rise fueled conspiracies involving over 50 women in intricate plots, their lives a battleground of ambition, betrayal, and desperation, their actions deeply influenced by the ritual's shadowy legacy. This isn't just a story of courtly intrigue played out on a chessboard of silk, it's a plunge into a nightmare where trust was a sharpened weapon, a system that devoured its own in a relentless cycle of deceit, its echoes a haunting refrain through the palace's marble corridors. The conspiracies were a tangled, suffocating web, concubines allied in secret to gain favor, using the ritual's guarded secrets as leverage against their enemies, their plots ranging from slipping poison into a rival's tea to crafting false accusations that led to banishment. Ottoman records from 1532 mention a scheme orchestrated by a lesser concubine to discredit a rival, framing her for the theft of a jeweled hairpin, a plot that ended with the accused's swift exile to a distant province, her name struck from the rolls in a single stroke. Imagine the tension, the rustle of a hidden note slipped into your sleeve during a dance, the brush of a poisoned ring against your finger as you adjust your veil, the weight of a conspirator's forced smile as she plans your downfall, your heart racing with every whispered word exchanged in the dim light, your breath shallow with the fear of discovery. Success meant a step closer to the Sultan's ear, a chance at power in a private chamber, but failure brought death, the threat of a dagger thrust in the night a constant shadow that loomed over every alliance, its blade glinting in the torchlight. Was this a desperate bid for survival or a descent into madness that poisoned the soul, a game that turned sisters into serpents? The question lingers as you reluctantly join a pact, your reflection in a brass mirror a stranger hardened by necessity. Many fell victim to these schemes, their bodies found with subtle marks, bruises hidden by silk, a faint scent of bitter herbs, their stories erased by the harem's suffocating silence, their deaths attributed to illness or misfortune, a cover-up that preserved the facade. The power struggles were ruthless and unyielding. Harem's alliance with Ibrahim Pasha amplified her influence, sparking rival factions that tore through the harem like a wildfire, each group vying for dominance with a ferocity born of desperation. Excavations near the harem reveal hidden caches tucked behind tiled walls, their contents, vials of dried herbs, coded messages scratched on parchment, a broken quill, hinting at sabotage and secret correspondences, a silent testament to the treachery that flourished in the shadows, the air still thick with the ghosts of their schemes. Chronicler Naima, writing in the 1590s, describes a chilling plot to poison a high-ranking concubine, her death discreetly blamed on a sudden illness, a cover-up orchestrated by her rivals to maintain the harem's delicate balance, her passing a whisper that silenced others into obedience. The air thickens, the sweet scent of rose oil masking the stench of deceit that clings to the air, the clink of jewelry as hands move to strike or offer a poisoned gift, the dread of a betrayal that could come from any direction, your pulse quickening as you hear the rustle of a robe behind you. If this shocks you to your very core, hit that like button and comment. What drove this web of deceit that turned the harem into a viper's nest? Some resisted, their loyalty to old friends tested and broken, their lives forfeit when alliances shattered, their whispers of dissent lost to the harem's depths, their hope extinguished by the endless cycle of treachery. But the conspiracies didn't end with the harem's confining walls. What horrors emerged when these plots reached the Sultan's court, threatening to unravel the empire's stability with their reach beyond the palace gates? The answer lies in the corridors of power outside, a secret yet to unfold from the heart of this nightmare. Are you ready for more? Smash that like button if you are, and subscribe now to uncover the next layer of this chilling history. Where will this path of torment lead us next? Imagine you're standing in a quiet Istanbul museum today, the year is 2025, the air carries the faint scent of aged wood and dust as you gaze at a harem artifact, a jeweled hairpin glinting faintly under glass, its beauty marred by the chill creeping up your spine as history whispers its dark secrets. You've walked through the concubine's nightmare, captivity in a gilded cage, grueling training under watchful eyes, rivalries fueled by jealousy, brutal punishments at the Sultan's whim, secretive rituals in shadowed chambers, and conspiracies that turned allies into enemies, a legacy of suffering that shaped the Ottoman Empire, its echoes resonating with a haunting clarity in the modern world. Historians like Uriel Haid trace the harem's decline by the 18th century, where its exploitative practices weakened the empire's moral and political fabric, a mirror held up to today's struggles with human rights and exploitation, its lessons etched in the annals of time. This isn't just a relic of the past gathering dust, it's a reflection that challenges us, a story of power turned to torment that lingers in 2025, demanding our attention and action. The legacy was profound and far-reaching. Harem dynamics influenced gender roles across generations, with the subjugation of concubines echoing in modern human trafficking networks that prey on the vulnerable, while the favor system's manipulation prefigured power abuses in elite circles, its tendrils reaching into corporate boardrooms and political arenas. Ottoman legal codes from 1700, preserved in dusty archives, tolerated such excesses as a matter of course, a precedent that resonates in today's conflict zones, where over 40 million people face similar fates according to the 2025 UN report, their stories a silent cry for justice. Imagine the weight, the hum of museum visitors murmuring around you, the cool, smooth glass case under your fingertips as you trace its edge, the sudden realization that these chains of oppression still bind souls across the globe. Excavations near the palace reveal harem cells, their walls scarred with desperate scratches and stained with the faint traces of long-dried tears, a tangible link to hidden abuses that persist in the shadows of our cities. Was this progress carved from enlightenment or a cycle of cruelty that stains history with its repetition? The question lingers as you read a plaque detailing a concubine's exile, her name lost to time. The ritual's secrecy parallels modern cover-ups of abuse, while the conspiracies hint at the intrigue of corporate espionage, their shadows stretching across centuries, a reminder of humanity's recurring failures. The impact endures with a weight that cannot be ignored. By the 19th century, reformers like the Tanzimat sought to dismantle these practices. Their efforts a flicker of hope amid the decay, yet the scars remained, with the empire's eventual fall tied to the harem's moral cost, a collapse mirrored in the erosion of ethical standards today. Chronicles from Evliya Çelebi to Naima paint a vivid picture of a society grappling with its own demons, their words a warning preserved in faded ink, their observations a call to vigilance. The air softens, the scent of old paper wafting from nearby exhibits, the rustle of a guide's voice explaining the artifact's history, the dread of recognizing these patterns in the news of 2025. If this moves you to your core, hit that like button and comment. What lessons can we draw from this dark chapter? Modern Turkey has outlawed such practices, yet global trafficking persists, its victims' voices a faint echo of the harem's cries, a connection that demands action, their suffering a mirror to the concubine's plight, urging us to break the cycle. This suffering wasn't a mere anomaly tucked away in history, it was the empire's very foundation, a paradox that challenges our pride in progress, its grandeur built on the backs of the broken. As we close this harrowing journey, the scent of myrrh from the rituals, the clatter of chains from the punishments, the murmur of ancient plots, all fade into the distance, but their lessons endure with a somber weight. The Ottoman Empire gifted us grandeur, majestic domes, thriving trade routes, a rich cultural tapestry, yet its pillars rested on exploitation, girls torn from their homes, women broken by the Sultan's whims, their lives fueling a throne that ultimately crumbled under its own corruption. The next time you admire its architectural marvels or trace its historical footprint, remember the silenced, the sobs of concubines echoing in empty cells, the whispers of the fallen lost to time, the echoes of their pain reverberating through the ages. This history challenges us in 2025, will we repeat this cycle of torment or forge a path of justice that honors their memory? The choice is ours, a decision that shapes the future. Are you inspired to act? Smash that like button if you are, and subscribe now for more dark histories. Comment how you'll carry this lesson forward to make a difference.